Chops Garage is proud to be sponsored by Car Vertical, the largest online database of vehicle information. Do you know the true history of your vehicle? Run a check now. Link in the description down below. So we got the cars in that you may have seen or may not have seen in the last video when we went to the main dealers buying part exchanges. We've got the Skoda in, which predictably is driven really well. It's so clean, I can keep it inside here and just give it a water wax and a hoover, and then we'll get a photo shoot done on that. So we'll hopefully get that up for sale. Still haven't actually got the little automatic Hyundai i20 up again. Just needs a water wax to clean off. We'll get that up for the get that photo shot as well, and then that's up. We have also got the Sportage. Now, a few of you are worried about me buying the Sportage. I did have a bit of a punt and bought it. Now, I've driven it around for 2 days now, and I have to say, it drives really nicely. This morning was the test, because I'd driven it home. Obviously, it sat all night long. So with the diesels, you find out the truth about whether they've got any engine running problems from stone cold. Started this morning, it started better than pretty much all the diesels I've got. Started straight away, no problem at all. It drives really nicely. Never driven one before. I have to say, I'm impressed with it. I can see why they're popular. That 1.7 gives you plenty enough punch. It's really comfortable. It's everything that's really good about the Kia Ceed that we sell a lot of, but just with that elevated seating position, a bit more room and more toys. So yeah, I really rate this. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to send it straight down for MOT before I even start getting into cleaning it or anything like that. We're going to get it down, get a fresh MOT on it. And then, you know, presuming that everything goes all right with that, we'll get it serviced at the same time. We'll then give it the clean up and get it up for sale. But obviously, I'd like to get it up for sale quite quickly because, yeah, it drives really nicely and I think it should be really popular. Now, we have bought 2 other cars, which will be in future videos. One of them's coming today and one of them's coming on Friday. But just randomly last night, someone messaged me that I know and offered me this vehicle. We just had it dropped off. I literally have had about 5 seconds looking around it, so you're going to see as much as I am, to be honest. It's a 2010 C4 Citroen Picasso in this sort of nice, I quite like the colour, the gunmetal grey. It's a nice looking car, I think, actually. Now, this was had off of my friend. He picked it up because the lady that bought it has apparently spent a lot of money on it, and then the other day she was driving along and the power steering light came on and she says the car cut out. So she pulled over, started it up again, and it's been fine since. That was about a week or so ago, but she's lost faith in the car. She had the funds to go and get herself a new car, so she's gone and done it, and then she offered it to my pal. So it is a big punt, this one. We don't know what that problem was. I'm obviously going to drive it around a bit and find out if I can find out what the issue is or not. Now, some of you may have experienced these and you might be able to tell me straight away what that might be. It did sound to me like it could possibly just be a really bad battery. All sorts of things could happen. She could have gone for a massive puddle and swamped the engine bay with water. There's lots and lots of reasons as to why that could happen, but apparently I say it's not happened again since. I'm going to run it home and back tonight and see if I get anything happening with it. So we'll have a quick look around it and a little bit of a drive. Now, I paid £500 for this. It'll become more apparent in a moment as to why. Well, I'll probably put it in the title already, haven't I? The reason I thought it was worth £500 is it's an automatic. Oh, need new check struts for the door there. It's an automatic, and as we know, automatics are in demand at the moment. I'm not so sure how much demand there is for the bigger automatic. Everybody I get asking me normally wants small ones, but this is a family size car with an automatic gearbox, and I'm sure there's somebody out there that's going to have those requirements. So I thought, you know, the other reason I thought it was worth a punt is this has actually got an MOT till September next year. It's got an MOT right through to September next year, and the only advisories were front tyres, I think, which seem to that one's fine. Yeah, the only advisories were front tyres and damage to an alloy wheel. It looks like it's had tyres, possibly. Damage to an alloy wheel normally means like a chip or a chunk out of them, or a little bit of a ding. I mean, there is a lot of scuffing on the edge of that one, but I can't imagine an MOT tester would put that down. Now all the tyres seem all right. So no, actually that one's coming close. That one's coming close. But yeah, I mean the MOT really for the age of vehicle didn't look too bad at all. So it's got 10 months MOT on it. Is it something like 10 months MOT on it? A bit longer than that actually, isn't it? It runs and drives. It's not horrible bodywork wise. We've got a little bit of light scuff in there which I think will buff out. Little scuff on the bumper there. Yeah, the bumpers are pretty good. I think there was some scuff in lower down he sent me, yeah, on the very bottom edge there. He sent me a picture of that, but the headlights are nice and clear. It looks like it could actually clean up quite nicely. Alloys don't look bad. We have got a bit of bodywork damage back here actually, which that wouldn't be a hard fix to do. You could just do that whole corner there if you wanted to. A lot of this will come out with a buff, I think. That won't, obviously, but a lot of the actual marking would come out with a bit of a buff. Got a tow bar on it. But yeah, I actually think it could clean up pretty nice. So inside we've got this nice velour-y stuff. It's actually quite nice. Quite like the feel of that. And the seats look mega comfortable. They don't have any holes in them or tears. Just needs a really good clean. There's just a lot of dirt, but it's all hoover-uppable. That's my word, yes, I will use it. And the plastics just need a clean down. Nothing outrageous. You see the kids have had their feet up against the back of the seat there. It's just, yeah, it just needs the mother of all hoover outs. Again, these seats are all in good condition. They're not actually bad at all. Boot struts are a little bit weak. They're holding it, but they're a little bit weak. You got a lot of sand in the back. I don't mind that. It just shows that people are getting out and enjoying the countryside around here, aren't they? But this needs a really good, like I say, obviously just this needs a hoover out as well. But like I say, I think this is actually gonna come up nicely. What is kids' obsessions with rocks? You end up with tons of the things, don't you? And they never do anything with them. Massive boot. I thought it might be 7-seater, but it doesn't look like it is. But good old sized boot in that. Got 2 keys. I haven't tried the second one yet. Economy mode active. What have we got on the dash? Let's see what warning lights we've got. It says oil is okay. We've got a little bit of fuel. 117,935 miles, which I don't think is too bad for 2010. Let's start her up. Are we in park? Oh, what doesn't it like? It does start up because I moved it earlier. Okay, some of you spotted now I had it in reverse, so it didn't want to start because it wasn't in neutral park. Okay, so try again. Starts up. Bit knocky from the engine bay. Sounds to me like maybe some engine mounts are a little bit loose. Let's turn the heater off and try that again. Oh, it's all down here, isn't it? Turn all that down. There we go. Let's try that again because I couldn't quite hear it with the heat blowers on. So right, try again. Let's start her up. Seems to start up okay. Engine mounts feel a little bit wobbly. You can sort of feel the engine moving a little bit about in the engine bay. Warning lights. Don't seem to be any. No engine management lights or anything like that. Seems to be idling happily enough. Oh yeah, 700 or something there. Seems to be idling nicely. Yeah, sounds okay. I'll have a quick look in the engine bay. There doesn't seem any service history with the car. I haven't found any so far yet anyway, but the coolant seems good. It's the right colour. Nice and clear for diesel coolant as well. So there doesn't seem to be any oil mixing going on there. We've got what looks like a fairly new alternator belt, or at least that one's okay. Seems in good condition. I can't see any leaks from the rear main seal. The engine bay seems very dry, so that's a good thing. Oil wise, obviously we just had it running. We'll have to clear that off 1 second. That appears to be about halfway up. As we know, diesel's dirty their oil really bad anyway, so it's going to be difficult to tell when that was changed, but it's certainly not been running low. you've got Halford's battery by the looks of it, so that could be one of the problems you've got. I don't know what output that one they've got on there is. Too much in the way of covers in the way for me to see, but it doesn't look particularly new. As we know, cars really don't like it when the batteries start to get old, so I'm wondering if it's something stupidly simple as that. I guess that's wishing a little bit too much. Yeah, I mean, in here nothing seems to worry too much. Doesn't look like it's been fiddled with recently. It's got honest dirt on it. You know, we've got the fuel levels, the oil levels right, the coolant levels right. Sounds like it's running nicely enough. So I guess thing to do is go for a little spin in it, isn't it? See how we get on. I guess first thing we're looking for is it's going to go through all the gears. But that isn't the reason she was binning off from what we've been told, so we never know whether we should trust them or not, I guess, do we? Gear change is a bit ponderous. Probably never had a service. Got a little bit of a knock. Didn't mention anything on the MOT about suspension. Might not be suspension, might be engine mount. Not sure, it does sound like an engine mount though. We're certainly going through all the gears. Yeah, I think it's definitely something like a trap rod end or a... Sounds too wobbly for a lower arm. I should check actually that the engine bay strut didn't drop back down again when I closed the bonnet. It always sounds something like that. No, actually it's when you're hitting the bumps. Yeah, I think there's something suspension wise there, but it seems to be going through the gears. I say that first gear change felt ponderous, but the other one seems to have been alright. Braking nicely enough. Yeah, there's got to be like a drop link. That first gear change, I say, is quite ponderous. But then again, I don't know how bad these are out of the box. Certainly nothing outrageous. Right, what we didn't try is a manual change. Sometimes we find that's actually smoother than the automatic, so let's give that a go a sec. So down. Yeah, that seems smoother. That seems quite a lot smoother. Yeah, it's strange how the paddle shifts seem a lot smoother changing than the auto. Gosh, I'm not sure how this got for an MOT such a short period of time ago with such a lot of knocking on the front of it. So guys, it seems to drive okay. I mean, the suspension's knocking like a bugger, but that seems to be easily solved, I would have thought. In terms of going through the gears, yeah, I say this is a bit ponderous, but I don't know what they're supposed to be like from new, or some of you guys who've driven these, comment down below and let me know. But if you use the paddle shift, seems to move smoothly enough. The electrics seem to work. There's no warning lights on the dashboard. The body works fairly tidy. Bear that scrape on the back, it actually could tidy up quite nicely. And it's got that long MOT on it, so it's got a few things going for it, I'd say. So what am I going to do with it? Absolutely nothing. I do not have the time to be fiddling around with this. I really don't. And the end profit, I mean, it's probably about a £2.5 car retail, I'd have thought. I just don't have the time to be faffing around with it, to be honest. So best thing for this one is just make a drink out of it. As a few of you like to say, just shift it on cheap. Let somebody else decide how far to go with it. Now, two schools of thought. I mean, I think the suspension needs to be sorted, but other than doing that, I probably wouldn't do anything else. Maybe put a oil and filter on it just in case we don't know when it's had a service. Do an oil and filter, get the suspension sorted, and then just, you know, give it a good clean, drive it as it is. I think then you might want to put tar on it as well, I guess. But other than that, don't spend any more money on it. I probably wouldn't do the paintwork. I'd just buff it all up and just have a cheap car. Thing is, you've got to be so careful though, selling cars like this, who you sell them to, because there's too many people out there that think they're going to get a car less than half price and not have to spend a penny on it. So this needs to go to someone who knows the score. So your adverts have to be brutally honest about the car. The thing is, when people ask you questions about how much it's going to cost to get fixed, what it needs to be to fix, you can't answer them at all because you don't know. If I knew what exactly needed fixing, by that point I'd done that, then I might as well get it done. And then people will hold you to your opinion, so you have to give no opinion. You have to let them look around it themselves, decide for themselves what the score is with it. You certainly don't want to be selling it to, you know, a family coming along who just think they get a cheap motor. You need to sell it to someone who's going to, probably a dealer who's going to do the bit of work on it and move it on themselves, or someone who's mechanically minded and knows about getting their hands dirty. But I certainly think there's a good cheap little runaround for someone to have here, or for someone who's a dealer who does the sort of lower end stuff and does the work themselves, to spend a few hours on it, give it a clean up, do that bit of suspension, do the tyre, and then get it up and make themselves a few quid. So I hope you enjoyed that little snippet of daily dealing, found it of interest. If you did, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. It's the biggest metric on YouTube for helping the channels. If you want to help the creators, give the videos a thumbs up, because it then recommends it to other people and gets the video out there more, and that's what helps grow your channel. As I said, we've got two other motors coming over the next 2 days. One of them I think will really be of interest to you. So if you want to make sure you do get notified when the latest videos come out, also please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. About 65% of you who watch the channel aren't actually subscribed, so we're trying to hit 40,000 by Christmas. That's the goal. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you again soon.